to Nasty Knuckles, the Hockey Outlaws podcast, with your hosts, Derek Nasty Settlemyre and former Philadelphia Flyer enforcer, Riley Cote, as they go behind the scenes with your favorite NHL players. Time to face off.
All right, welcome back. What's happening, Nasty?
Rig Aurelia, what's going on? I know one thing. I knew that playing for Natty Ice would get that desire back for hockey, and it's led to you signing, I guess, a PTO?
I guess so. I haven't seen the contract yet, but...
Well, let me talk to Mac about it. Dave McIsaac and the Danbury Hat Tricks.
Yeah.
Riley will be playing his first pro game in a long time this Sunday, and there will be footage of it.
There will be. We're going to get our boy Baller at the game.
Baller's coming. I wonder if Debo's going to make his...
I hope so.
He
better.
Make it. But Riggs...
We got to capture this moment.
Back in pro hockey, I cannot wait. He has been assured, ladies and gentlemen, that he is a first-line player and is not going to be expected to Tilly. I find that funny because if someone starts poking the bear...
I cannot get hurt in this game. I cannot.
You cannot, because we have a big men's league game the following Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot get hurt, even though you're
7 days to recover.
You're getting paid.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. First line, power play.
Power play, everything. You didn't put you in front of the net?
Well, Dave McIsaac just texted me and asked me if I want to be on the half wall or down low. I said, put me in front of the net or down low. We'll see how this thing goes.
Oh, I can't wait.
But,
this is going to be great.
It's going to be something. I never expected to get this this call or text that I'd be playing in the Federal League, and actually accepting and actually considering accepting this.
This is going to be great.
But,
the girls will get to see you play. Your
definitely not going to
get to see you play. A
Yeah.
professional game.
Professional game.
Can't
Danbury
wait.
Hat Tricks.
Yes.
Should be a good time. Got to stay limber.
Can't wait.
Got to find some flow.
Oh, you
Got to find some flow. Bring the Toby. Then we're going to snap some biscuits around.
There's going to be some meathead looking for you.
Oh, I know there is. I'm already mentally prepared, but I'm going to be like, I'm the first line power play, dude. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
First line power play. You haven't said that in a while,
I haven't said that since I was 18 years old in juniors.
This is going to be great, though. We might have to get the boys, Natty. We all got to
Might have to round up the crew.
We got to get the Nasty crew there for you, because it's going to be great.
That'd be fun, man.
What else we got going on, Riggs?
Well, we got a awesome giveaway going on Twitter with
right.
Flyers Nation.
Yeah.
2 tickets to this Friday's game against Carolina, 3:30 start, with my man Nasty, and 2 of these bad boy Flyers Nation t-shirts.
Yep.
So check out the giveaway on Twitter. Give it a retweet. Make sure you're following Nasty Knuckles and Flyers Nation.
Yes.
And a chance to win. We'll be announcing that bad boy Thursday night. Thanksgiving evening.
Joining us for the game. I can't wait. Should be a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, Flyers back at home after these next 2. So looking forward to that, and whoever ends up winning.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Can't wait to hang out.
Absolutely. And other than that, we have some of the biggest games to the smallest events. Make every bet worth your while with MyBookie. This year, Turkey Day at MyBookie gives you plenty of reasons to be thankful, starting with a $250 risk-free bet on Thursday afternoon when the Dallas Cowboys host the Las Vegas Raiders. Nast.
Raiders. This is my favorite football day of the year. Bet the spread between the Raiders and Cowboys at MyBookie. When you win, you win. And if you don't, MyBookie will refund you up to $250.
Whew.
That's a pretty good deal.
Oh, yeah.
Simply put, you can't lose this bet. And that's why I call no risk, all gravy, baby. All over the
gravy. Who doesn't love gravy, Nast?
I love it.
Before you get your wager in, set yourself up for success by doubling your first deposit when using promo code Knuckles at MyBookie. That's promo code Knuckles to double your initial deposit all the way up to $1,000, Nast. So you won't need to break the wishbone to be the one to come out ahead.
There's a certain wishbone I'd like to break, and they know which one it is. But I'm going to tell you this. Feast risk-free on Turkey Day with MyBookie, and make sure to stick around for seconds as they gear up for what should be a fun Black Friday with tons of odds boost that will have your belly and your pockets full, Riggs.
Oh, who doesn't love a belly and a pocket full?
I love it. So you know what? Bet anything, anywhere, anytime with MyBookie.
All right, Nas, let's hop into our episode 50 with our boys at Missin Curfew Scottie Upshall. And Obi pops in for
quick
story.
And we need to celebrate 50.
Let's do it.
I think we should celebrate it. All right,
let's
do it.
Welcome back. I'm Riley Cote.
And I am Derek Settlemyre. And this week we are so honored and lucky to have our good friend and 1/3 of the Legion of Poon in Philadelphia, Mr. Scottie Upshall. Updog, what is going on, brother?
Two of my favorite lads, boys. Thanks for having me, Riley. We had a great interview last week. Nasty, we missed you, but it's a damn pleasure to have the honor to be on your guys' show. I love what you're doing. Being in the podcast world is new and it's tough and it's fucking fun sometimes and hard, but I love what you guys are doing, and thanks for having me on. So let's have some fun.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, good to see you again. Yeah, I get to see it, I guess 3 times in the last week.
Of course I didn't get to, of course. Fucking get this guy out.
Don't worry. We weren't the only 2 guys at the alumni event that were a little rattled with what was going on. So we have a big spot in our heart for you, and the Flyers. We missed you, bud. We missed you. It was a great event, though. Hell of a time playing on the same line with fucking Big E and LeClaire, and I was actually Big Hatch's D partner for like.
It was,
you were buzzing.
Yeah, you were buzzing. My old man Sudsy obviously was there working, and he says, he calls me. He finished late that night. He didn't even get to go to the party, but the next morning he says, your boy Upshall was just flying around. It wasn't even fair. He just retired. He was just buzzing 3 G's. I'm like, there were ladies in the stands. I mean, was it fly? I said to Sudsy, was there floods? You and DZ, Michael Del Zotto, seem to get the floods going in Philly when you guys hit town.
That's quite the honor to get the natural floods going in the seats at the
natural floods.
Hey, I'm used to these PTOs back in the day, as you guys know, later in the career. So you never know who's watching. You're always on a truck.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah, you stay on your toes for sure.
Someone's gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey, I need you on my squad," because I'm a team guy. As you
guys know. That's right. Man.
Yeah, you were flowing, Uppy. You were flowing. You're looking good out there.
Flow state. Thanks.
You were in flow state. Yeah, right. Yeah, you and me both.
I think we touched on it, but you had that nice, man purse / what do you call it? Because I have one too. The fanny pack.
The European carry-all or
satchel. And I mean, I'm like, I know what's in it. I didn't even have to ask. And he was like,
all my beauty products asked.
I'm like, I've been really loving what you're doing, Riles, with like, the fucking spiritualness and the healing and, helping everyone out. I'm like, what do you got in the bag?
Yeah, right.
Let's get past this. What's in the bag, bro?
Pure flow state for the first period. And I couldn't have felt better. I got to be honest.
Yeah, man. Well, you're nice and lean, and you look like you just retired yesterday.
So out there living on the water. Yeah. Fuck up, John. That's what I was getting ready to say. I finally get the Updog. First, well, I know he's really busy and really important because he doesn't return any of my texts. I just show pigeon equipment manager.
Videos.
I'm messing with you. But we get up on the East Coast, and I don't even get to see him. I was so pissed off. But hopefully I'll get out there to see you, or maybe you come back this way. But
I do need to meet your little guy, man. I love little Elvis. I know he's growing like a beanstalk, and he's fucking learning music, he's business, playing tunes.
Yeah.
For your listeners out there, I know you've posted videos, but your little guy, man, he's living up to his name, isn't he?
He's a mess, man. He loves rock and roll. And he loves hockey. It's all it is every day.
You ever seen his Instagram lives? Elvis?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, right.
Where it's like it's got to be your basement, right?
Well, he goes.
It's dark and it's got lasers and like the drum.
Yeah.
I'm just like, God, this kid is just going to be.
He
beat him off him with a stick eventually. He's going to have so much coming out of him.
And he's not afraid to talk to females either. He throws. He thinks he's got game. I mean, he's 7. Like, settle down, kiddo.
Settle down, Settlemyre.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Uppy, let's talk a little bit about your career, which was awesome. Started out in Smashville. I can't. A nice young man going into Nashville. I don't. Let's not talk about your numbers off the ice, but talk about it, what it was like playing in Nashville. That had to be awesome, man. Because obviously we love going to Nashville. Anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone does. It's got to be number 1 or a close second for best city to either travel into or to to play for. I think the city itself has a life of its own. It has its own attitude. It has its own life, and it's only gotten better and better since I've been there. But back in the day, boys, it was such a small little. I felt like our team was we were built to like guys that were like a group of guys that all just like to go to the same bar and chat and we're all on the same page. So I got to learn like pro hockey kind of a way that you'd hope younger kids get to learn from it, like the older guys wanting to bring the younger guys into the mix right away, and not by just going out to the bars, but teaching them things like taking them for dinner. And so I attribute that to, like, I lived with David Legwan when I was younger. Hartsey was the first guy ever to pick me up from the airport when I landed in Nashville. He took me for fucking like a pregame meal, basically, where he was going to eat pregames. And at the time, you're like, all right, this is how pro hockey works. This is how National Leaguer does it. He's driving a fucking BMW M3, and I'm like, Hartsey from Lloydminster. I'm like, this guy's just killing it. And so, Nashville was a place of, growth and learning for me as a young kid. And I always said I'd keep Nashville close to me and always keep a place there. Maybe one day I was like, maybe I may marry a girl from there. They're so sweet and kind. They cook for you. They they're all hot. Right. As I grew up older, now I find myself in California, but man, Nashville was just, it was awesome. So, great organization. We all know that. They've come a long way, and it's a good place to say you grew up, you grew up in. It's such a cool little town. So,
and so you're involved in a pretty big trade. Peter Forsberg, not a bad guy to get traded for. But you come into Philly, and I'll never forget this. And I can't remember, but it was one of the boys on the team were like, Nash, you're going to love this guy. He's right up your alley. These guys I won't get into everything I was told, but sure enough, first day I meet you, man, what you brought to the rink every day, your smile, always a good attitude. It was awesome. And I was going to ask you, you remember where you played your first Flyers game?
Fuck yeah. Of course I do.
You remember what number you were given first?
I do. Yeah.
So I have
exactly to have with Homer. So you got to tell it, 'cause it's great.
Well, so I like put him in number 10, right? Like, I'm like, okay. And I put him in number 10, and up he comes in.
By the way, sick number, but like Johnny Leclerc, I'm like, fuck, man.
That's right. So he's like, bro, like, that's a sick number, but like Johnny Leclerc, I'm like, dude, Johnny's been done for a few. I know, but can we do something else? I'm like, hell yeah, man, for you we can. So, and it ends up being a oh shit, hang on. Do you remember how the conversation went? Because I vividly remember that. Look at that tarp.
Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah,
that's a retro to the Reebok.
That is fresh.
Oh yeah.
Hey, by the way, that's probably a 54 or 56. Cote, what size jersey did you wear? Because you could fall right out of yours by the time you're.
Well, my first year was when we had those real tight ones. Remember those flat? What the hell those called? Even those. Oh, I literally had my arm ripped off one time. I think fighting Asham actually. Now, remember how tight they were? Those for that first 07, 08, and then after that, I landed up getting in a bigger jersey. Well, but I actually found some advantage to the tight one.
Yeah.
So hey, Nasty, this is how the conversation went, and this is in your voice. boys too. You're like, so what number you want, Updog? I'm like, I kind of had 9, like when I grew up, and then I used 19, but then when I went to Nashville, all they had was 7. I don't really like 7. And then you're like, so what do you want? I'm like, I'd like 9. You're like, all right, here, let me call Homer. So then you come back to me, you go, fuck, you're wearing 9. You go, I called Homer, and Homer's like, this Upshall, he wants 9, huh? Give him 9. I'm like, you're right. How the National League works. I'm like,
yeah. It was awesome, man.
It just always is like, we were at the game, and I don't know how you pulled this off, but Miracle Nasty, we can call you because you do anything. The fucking 10 jersey was hanging in my stall as I got to the rink, and before warmups, I was wearing fucking number 9 with Upshall on it and everything. And I'm like, God, these fucking Flyers guys know.
Oh man, I got lucky, I guess, that day.
That was all you, brother.
But you came in like gangbusters, man. Like you were scoring big goals. Remember overtime goal in Boston, and you were just you obviously everybody knows watch you play. You played with so much energy, and I love when Obi, your partner there, on your guys' podcast, we'll talk about in a minute, Missin Curfew. I love when he goes on one of your posts or something, full out up dog, like. Yeah,
we're folding guy in half. Or what?
Like when he just from behind or from it doesn't matter where.
Full speed ahead.
But Uppy came in just buzzing and scoring and smiling, and the attendance went from about 50-50 to 70-30 women in Philadelphia when Uppy started smiling and doing the interviews and everything. But
no bucket,
no Bucky, of course not. And that year that Uppy that you came was honestly the worst year statistically, like for wins and losses in Flyers history. But the next year we turn it around and we get to the conference final. Had a lot of injuries that year. Never know what could have happened. That's easy to say. But the funny thing was I call him in the summer because Homer comes down and goes, I just made a trade for Joffrey Lupul. And I'm like, fuck, I've heard Uppy talk about Lupul like so many times. So I sent him a text, or no, I called you and I'm like, bro, we just traded for Joffrey Lupul. We're like, what? I'm sitting with him right now. You guys were in Kelowna on the beach. We
were in his place in Sylvan Lake. Same lake town, and Coates would know, but this is where Loops live. So it's Canada Day, July 1st, which is free agency day in the NHL. And it's not fucking 11 a.m. We should still be in bed, actually, because we probably had a big night before. But anyway, we're up. Loops left his phone or it was dead, which is just standard Lupul move. And we're sitting at lunch, and it's me, Matt Green, Loops, and probably my buddy Riley St. Peter at the time. And it's Nasty, and of course I pick it up. Nast, what's up? And the look on my face, I'm like, fuck, I must have seen a ghost, right? And I'm like, okay, are you sure? Yeah, the deal's done, but they're not going to announce it for a couple hours. I'm like, all right. So I look at Loops, and now Matt Green, who's his teammate in Edmonton, right? I don't know how to break this now because it's going to fucking affect Greener as much as it is Loops, and I'm already jacked. So I'm like, you got your phone on you? He's like, no, it's dead. I'm like, shocker. I'm like, well, fuck. I don't know how to tell you this, bro, but I just got a call from Nasty, my trainer in Philly, who's a beauty, by the way, and you're getting traded to Philly today. And he's like, what? And Greener's like, fuck off. And I'm like, no, you are. It's a done deal. Fucking Homer just told Nasty that we traded for Upshall's buddy. And Loops is like, holy shit, not again, because this is now his second. I'm like, bro, I'm so fucking pumped. You're gonna love it. Like, I just got a new pad downtown Philly. I'm so pumped. And Greener's like, well, who's the trade for? And I'm like, well, it's Jeff Sanderson and Yoni Pitkinen for Jason Smith, who ends up being our captain and was the captain of the Oilers at the time, and Loops. And fucking Greener's living with Jason Smith at the time. So he is just starts basically crying. And I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry, Greener. And Loops is like, fuck, this is crazy. And I'm like, Loops, let's have a day, buddy. It was, how often do you get to play in the National League with one of your best buddies?
Right. No shit.
And it was awesome.
Every day. Or to happen like that, where we're like on pure vacation mode and we get the call and that day, I tell you, was a lot better than the day I got traded, where Loops dropped me off at the airport and I fucking cameras in my eyes as I was just fucking bawling. So there was two emotions with Loops getting traded, you know, one being me, one being him. So
one of the funny things, Uppy, when Loops got to town, we were right before camp, Loops was out on the ice by himself, just buzzing around, shooting biscuits, and Homer comes downstairs in my office. He goes, "Holy fucked up, how Loople can skate." And I'm like, "Well, did you not know it?
Yeah, right,
Like, what do you mean?
We knew you could shoot.
Hey, Homer's like, no, I fucking bring guys in because they're good guys.
Exactly.
I think they fucking, you know, mix well together and create a good team.
God, it was. But
that was a hell of a trade, though, too, for the Flyers.
Yeah,
boys. Loops was fucking his special player. Even growing up with him, he always had like, you know, he's kind of goofy skater when he was younger, and then he grew a lot, but he was always so strong. And if the guy couldn't fucking pick a corner, you know, with the hardest snapshot in the league,
Insane.
Right. You know, what a shot, what a fucking knack for scoring big goals. And he scored a bunch for us.
Yeah, he did.
The best obviously is that overtime goal in game 7 was fuck. I think I lost time. I got so excited. I'm kind of blacked out when he scored that goal, but he was due. Poor guy was like getting chances, just getting robbed, and he gets the biggest one of the series. Obviously,
we were in you know, the Flyers alumni built that room, Rouse.
Yep.
The
lounge,
right? So every fucking team in the NHL like figure it out. Get the alumni to build like a nice room for you so you can go to games and see your old buddies. And whether you're in town all the time, like don't abuse it or abuse it. I don't care. Go for the free wine and beer. Who cares?
Right.
But we're in there and there's fucking the most epic photos of the boys winning the cup back in the day.
Yeah.
Nasty. There's pictures of them in these tight little Speedo shorts, like with just like Bud Light shirts on, and they're just got their fucking no teeth. They're cut up. There's girls like staring at them. It's just, they're epic photos, right? And I'm like looking around, I'm like, Loops, why isn't your fucking photo you scoring that game winner, like game 7 double OT? Like that was one of the biggest goals in Flyers history.
Yeah,
and then
I know.
And all of a sudden there's a massive, it's like not the photo, but it's an actual fucking it's like a mural behind all the photos of Loople just fucking looking at I'm like, okay, they didn't fuck that up.
One of the best sellies too.
Oh, like, yeah, right.
One of the best sellies, just yard sell. And I still watch it once in a while, just on YouTube, and watching all you guys come flying in. It was one of my best moments, that's for sure. Being with the Flyers, it was awesome. And I remember, I don't know if you, I shouldn't say, I don't know if you remember this, Uppy. I won't get into detail, but we blew game 1 and we're at practice the next day. And one of the guys comes up and goes, "We need to get something to get the boys going. Make a phone call." So make a phone call. had some stuff delivered in, and turned it all around. We won the next 3. We were up 3-1. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I sure do. We get one of the guys out of the, you know, like, hey, I know this is good, and we're gonna rally around this, but you still gotta show up for the fucking pregame meeting.
Right?
Yeah, right. Oh man, but that year you guys were here. I was talking to Rouse, like, it's so funny to look back how long ago it was, but it was G's rookie party we had at Miami. I think you and Loops kind of set that up, if I'm not mistaken.
We had it at the Shore Club, and it was at Nobu. And then we, you know, the rookie dinners in Miami they're always crazy because like the clubs are so big, and it's never like this, you know, intimate, you know, bash. It's more just like an absolute rager because the club, right, like you can't even. True. As soon as you leave dinner, which is always the best part of a rookie dinner, right? You just embarrass the rookies, and you make them tell stories or jokes, and then you take their credit cards and you just
swipe, heavy swipe,
order good wine and lobster, even though you're probably not that hungry. And by the time dinner's over, everyone's pretty lit up. You go to these big ass clubs, and you can't hear anything nor like talk to anyone. So as soon as you walk in, it's just a free for all, right? Just like try to fill up the table with as many girls as you can, and have everyone just kind of like for one night, make sure everyone is just on board with having a good time, right? That's the standard protocol of a rookie dinner, because the next day, you know, usually have off, or if you do have to go to practice, which I have had, and I'm sure Riles, you have too. It's the coach just wants you to get out there and not like, you know, just own up to being a professional hockey player. Like, you know, you're drunk, you're going to miss passes, you're going to miss the net, you're going to like laugh and have fun, especially if you play on a team with Scott Hartnell.
Yeah.
So I just, Miami's are just, they're crazy. They're, you know, you love Miami, what it is, but it's shattering.
Different animal.
I've got some really good pictures from that night. One, I wouldn't call it great, but it is pretty epic. With Ash somehow lost his shirt.
Yeah,
and he's
standard.
He's with the Gaggy and Marty Biron. It's a great picture. But
so I nasty right here beside me. I have because they keep falling on me, so I want to just address this. I have my fucking twig I used in Philly.
No,
it's a blue Synergy. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
But I mean, this tape is fucking probably right from the drawer. Right from the Settlemyre drawer. Hey, throw me some fucking black tape, would you? But it's still the tape job I used back in the day. Heel curve. This was this, and then I have a fucking Jeff Carter autographed twig that he gave me too.
Oh, look at that.
The orange from the Flyers back when he played.
Yeah. Probably a few snipes left in both of those twigs, hey?
Yeah, we actually used the same fucking curve. Pretty nasty.
Yeah, you're right. Look at that.
And I have these. I got a bunch of twigs that I've kept, and like, you know, obviously, yours must have got lost in the mail. But
oh, the green goblin.
The green goblin.
The green goblin he used. He never taped it.
Oh,
he never retaped it.
Never used tape, and then he didn't use tape the other day either. And he walked in first shift alumni game and went fucking roof.
That's a Toby, man. You don't need tape for those bad boys. Man. Yeah, that's the whole technology. Yeah, I know. Settling down some sauce from Brash and putting it over Litz's shoulder.
Talk about why sticks have holes in them now, Riley. What's the deal?
Well, this company is just trying to revolutionize the stick industry with just like the balance of the stick, the weight of the stick, but it's like a full piece of carbon fiber, and the holes is just really, I think, to eliminate drag. And
Bauer's doing it now too. I just saw a commercial on Instagram yesterday.
Yeah, with the hole across it, right?
Whole like open spot on it. I'm like,
yeah,
are the kids really like shooting pucks with fucking, you know?
The thing with that one is another stick can go through it.
Yeah,
through it, or the puck. Really?
Yeah, it looks like the puck could as well. Yeah, but that stick also has. You don't need tape. It's like a sticky blade.
Yeah, it's got a stickiness to it.
And there's actually, it takes a while to wear off, but they actually have this. It's like not a paint because it dries in like 8 minutes, but you brush it on, it turns purple, and then when it dries, it's back to black. And it's like you could do it anyway because you have pretty silky mitts, but you can take the hardest back pass on your backhand and the damn thing puck just sticks to it. I mean,
it's like wide receiver gloves.
Yeah.
Honestly, exactly like that. Yeah. It's got
tape in my twig though. How nice is it? Like you feel like a hockey player when you learn to tape your stick. Like your dad used to do it.
I know. Yeah.
Dad's actually right here in the studio right here.
Aren't you taking him to a game this week?
We're gonna go see the Ducks and then Leafs.
Awesome.
Tell
us, say what's up.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, the boys. Yeah, he's right here. He's fucking ready to go on another father's trip. I think he missed it.
Right. That's awesome, man.
Missin Curfew father's trip or what? Yeah.
Actually, if you get over, you're taking him to the game and maybe out the night after golf. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So, Uppy, we got it. We talked about this a little bit before we started, but I have to tell this quick story. So, Uppy, we kind of have a lot in common as far as we both like music, a little bit of everything, really. But he was always listening to My Morning Jack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, this is good, man. Never even heard him until Uppy introduces me. So they happen to be coming to Philly, Festival Pier. We may have grabbed a little mush for the day. So everybody's feeling great, but Uppy keeps saying to me, what's your boy's name? The league at Jimmy?
Jimmy.
He's like, nah, I'm telling you.
The whole week leading up.
He's
the whole week leading up. I told you this.
Like the whole week, he's like, I promise you, bro, he's gonna make it rain. You're gonna love him because he knew I played guitar a little bit. So now we're at the show, and he's been telling me all week, So now we got a little, we're kind of floating about a foot off the ground, feeling great. Everything's perfect. Riggs, there is not a cloud in the sky. It is the most beautiful night, not too hot, not too cold. Uppy loses the jersey.
Oh, yeah.
He's out in the middle. It starts fucking raining. And I'm like, and he's looking over going, he's making it rain. And I'm like, this can't be happening, man. Like he did something here, but it rained for what, 5 minutes and it stopped.
Perfect. He came out. I'm like, I've seen it happen before. Up till then, I probably watched maybe 3 or 4 shows, and fuck, boys, I'm just saying it would start just raining to the point where everyone's like, fuck, should he stop? No,
you're right.
All right, so I brought Carter. So after Rouse, we lost out in the conference final one year. Sorry to cut you off, Nasty, but this is why I know this fucking guy makes it rain. So we lose out to Pittsburgh game 6, and me, Carter, Richie, and Loops fuck off, and we go to Ibiza. We go to Amsterdam, Ibiza, and Loops and I stayed in Ibiza a couple extra days, and Carts and Richie were like, holy shit, we've had enough. We're gonna go back. We golfed, we went to the clubs, and everyone talked about Ibiza at the time and it being like the craziest place to go, and the beaches were awesome and like food and clubs. So we're like, fuck it, let's go, boys. We just battled our asses off. We're all beat up. Let's go over and enjoy ourselves. So we get back from Ibiza, and we'll keep the stories that happened there. And and me, Carter, and Loops, I'm dating this girl at the time who lives in Nashville, and she kept telling me about this festival, Bonnaroo. And we land, and we're like, what do we do now? We're not going home. It's still kind of cold back home, right? It's like middle of May or whatever. We're like, fuck, let's go to Bonnaroo. So me, Carter, Loops,
why the hell not?
we booked the flight next day. And I'm just thinking, after an 11-day trip to Europe, if someone was to say that right now, it's like, that would just hurt. That would just,
yeah.
That's like a modern day Woodstock too, eh? It's like,
well, we had no idea how to do it. So the very first day we get there, we lined it all up. We had this little fucking guy that we met who put these RVs behind one of the stages, and we got the, through a contact, we meet Jason Weinstock, and he's going to love that I throw his name out there. He always loves that, but he dials us in, and he's dialed us in every year. But anyways, the first year I meet him, and he takes care of me, Richie, and Loops. And day one, we get so drunk in the afternoon in 120 degree humidity Nashville heat that we, by like 6:30, 7 o'clock, we've been drinking beers all day. We literally pass out. And I remember vividly behind the stage in this RV, waking up to rockets getting shot in the sky from Metallica playing. And it was like piercing. All of a sudden, these like just literally fireworks, but like rockets were just going whoosh, like, and it was like Enter Sandman. And we're like, holy shit, we got to get up and go see this shit.
Yeah.
So that was day one. Well, day two, Jimmy Dowd and his wife Kim come down for My Morning Jacket. And I had seen them once, and I'm like, I was already a fan, but not that, I wasn't as diehard as I am now. And Jimmy and his wife and their friends set up shop in front of My Morning Jacket stage at 2 p.m. They don't play until like 12 a.m. He's there for 8 hours in his
the junkyard.
Jimmy Short Pants, Jimmy Junkyard, who's a beauty, by the way. I saw him last weekend.
Oh.
And that show, boys, was 3.5 hours, and it rained the whole fucking time. And Jeff Carter had no shirt on, just board shorts. And by the end, he put this blue poncho on and like tightened up the face. So it's just like
just the grill hanging out.
That's like my experience of like witnessing the rain that he just brings, right? Jim James.
Right.
That he brings. So of course, next training camp, they're playing, a week before camp. I make sure everyone on the team that's in early, I'm like, we're going to this show. And I'm like, Nasty, wait till you see this fucking guy in this band. He makes it rain. And that's the
wow
story.
It was first of all, the show was amazing, but the fact that it was just a perfect day out, and it did rain, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
Not a cloud in the sky.
something's going on here.
Yeah.
Man. But Uppy called it all week. He's gonna make it rain. I'm telling you, he's gonna make.
By the way, that pier is a great place to watch the show in Philly. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Is. Really
unfortunately, it's no longer exists, but that was the place for sure.
They put condos up there or something right now.
Yeah. They knocked it down, and
our boy Jeff Gordon, who you know really well, Uppy. He's
Live Nation.
Yeah, Live Nation, man. Their new place downtown is just.
Yeah, the Met.
The Met is, you have to go see a show there. I know you're out west, but if you ever get the chance, man, it's insane. It's insane. I got a quick question too. We talk about, anyone that played for Hitch, we got to bring Hitch up.
2 times, right? You played
No, I missed them, boys. I missed them the year. So I got traded after
right. He'd fired.
Johnny had just came over. And I love Johnny Stevens. So I basically missed him the first time.
That's right.
You know, due to just my Western League status and my Philadelphia time, Hitch literally brought me into St. Louis on that tryout my very first year. So I love Hitch fuck boys, the story.
And the Kamloops connection, right?
Well,
he was before me, but a massive Kamloops connection there. Yeah.
That's right. And I remember you coming to town. I was always excited to see you. So you and I are standing out in the hall. You guys were, I don't know if I think you played the night before, and I was out there talking to Panger, your buddy, Darren Pang. And he was telling me like how well your line played the night before. Right. Yeah. And then you came out to see me after you got changed, and we're talking, and you're like, yeah, Hitch called me in and was like, you're not playing tonight. And Uppy's like, yes, I am. Like, why? Why our line was the best. And Panger's like jumping into the story with Uppy. He's like, they were by far the best line last night. It wasn't even close. And he had said that to Hitch, I guess, at breakfast. And Hitch was like, what are you watching, Panger? Holy fuck, you TV guys, like kind of giving him shit. And so I think, Uppy, you know better than me, but I feel like you just said, I'm playing. Or you said, you're playing sideways. You're like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm playing sideways. What does that mean, Hitch? And then finally, obviously, Uppy plays that night. But I just remember getting the biggest kick out of that because
so it's hilarious you bring that up. I always was like, if I was playing good, Hitch would like kind of fucking just talk randomly. He'd come in and like ask me about golf. Like some days he'd be like, so what's the nicest golf course you think you played? I'm like, the fuck, Hitch? What's with the small talk here? I fuck, it was -2 last game. It wasn't my fucking fault, all right? No, but like the one day I remember this, Panger would attest to this because he always had my back. I love Panger. He fucking, anytime I would like touch the puck, whether it was good or bad, he'd be like, what a play. So but I talked my way back into the lineup after like before morning skate. And then during the morning skate, I'm like, I'm not fucking bag skating. There's no way I'm playing. You fucking asked Revo and Brodziak. We fucking were the best line last night. You didn't play us enough. I'm like, start to fucking play us and we'll get this thing turned around. Right. So I don't know who had to sit out, which is the unfortunate part, but I'm like, fucking after the thing, he comes in and he's like, all right, you're fucking playing, but you better fucking do something better than you have been. You're not fucking make me that because it was against you guys, right?
Yeah, it was against
Philly. I'm like, I'm not fucking sitting out against Philly. I've had this fucking circled for the whole year. There's no chance. And I'm like, I'm playing.
Man, that's classic. Probably never happened before. You can talk to coach and putting you in after you've been pulled out.
Yeah, I told you, Hitch just wants you to talk to him like you speak in your mind. It's like everything's very, very thought out and be like the mad scientist sometimes that he is. He has a purpose and fuck it. It drives guys nuts sometimes, but it works to the point where he drives you so crazy that you just say, okay, block him out. It's all on us now. Like and that's actually his mission, boys. He actually, the very first conversation I had before I got to St. Louis, he said, this group here needs to take themselves to the next level. Like I'm completely done teaching them everything and they know it. So a guy like you fits in with this group and trust me, for the first like 15, 20 games, I'll be all over you. But then I need the leaders to just take him to the next level. I'm just backing off. And that's actually what he did. And I felt like was some of the best hockey we ever played, and I was part of. So
yeah, that's interesting.
Into that sort of philosophy.
I've heard this before from the Big Hatch there when he was in Dallas. It was the same thing. There's such a major leadership group there that it was basically like, you guys run the show, I'll just sit back and take credit. But like there would be times where I think Hitch would say, all right, guys, we're gonna do some sort of drill, and then like Brett Hall or whoever would be like, no, Hitch, we're not doing that, and it'd be like, all right, it's like we're just gonna do this over here. But they like kind of what you said there is like, and I think there's something to that. You know what I mean? It's like let the leaders be leaders.
100%. If you come off the ice after just being like doing something dumb, right? You fucked up to where you don't even want to talk. Like your centerman or your winger, like it was on you, and you're like, fuck. And you feel Hitch's eyes just like staring, waiting for you to look at him, and you're like, I can't look at him because I'm gonna fucking, we're gonna get in a fuck you match, and it's gonna like, we just don't need the negative energy. And of course, grab the water bottle. You still see him staring at you. What do you fucking want? I know I fucked up. Okay, but he loves it, and he gets the best out of guys. And fuck, man, he's success. He brings teams to to good places. Obviously, he's won one championship, but I think he's still in Edmonton helping that team, and he's always around hockey. So
right. I remember in 2016, I was able to do the World Cup with Team USA, and David Backus was on the team, and we were having dinner the one night, and him and I were just kind of like, I only had Hitch for 10 games. 11 games. Yep. He got it was a year you ended up coming, and Johnny Stevens was the coach. He got fired like 10 games in anyway. So I was kind of telling him a couple funny stories, and he goes, he's always screaming. He goes, one time right in the middle of the game, he screamed, Backy, he's yelling, and Backy's like, I think he said he was back checking, and he literally stopped and goes, what the fuck do you want? Like during the game. And I'm like, no way. He goes, I swear to God, man. I'm like, holy fuck. Because I couldn't take it anymore. He's like, I couldn't take it anymore. He's screaming.
Such a high-pitched scream too.
Coaches, they're like, I don't know what to tell you. Like we know he's fucking going off on one of his rants right now. And I just stick with it, and then but they all know deep down, like his heart's in the right place. So that's hockey.
So speaking of another coach, Uppy, you got to play for Gretter, the big Wayne Gretzky. How was that?
It was good. It was weird. I mean, I met Wayne a couple times. The first time with my parents at the draft in Toronto. The night before the draft, we're at Wayne Gretzky's restaurant, and he's sitting with Stan Butler, my world junior coach. So of course I'm like, fuck, I'll go say hi. He's with Stan Butler. So that was the first time I met him. And I got to be honest, the day I got traded from Philly, I went into Boston. So Phoenix was playing Boston, and the night I got in, I'm roommates with Friggy, with Todd. Todd. And I'm like,
must have been something.
And really the right guy I need right now, because I was fucking, I was kind of caught up in a lot of emotions that day. And that day, so the next at the rink in the morning, there's fucking 12 bags of different hockey teams there. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And of course, like the headline, there was literally 12 new guys traded to the Phoenix Coyotes that day. I'm like, holy shit, I don't even know if I'm going to play. And everyone's wearing like different gloves. There's like, there's not enough pants for everyone. So fuck, sure enough, I grab a pair of pants and some gloves. I'm like, I'm fucking keeping these things. And, we go out, Wayne comes in before practice, shakes my hand, and I'm like, fuck, okay, that's Gretz. And he doesn't say really a word in the morning or pregame, like skate or pregame. He lets Olfie Samuelson take control of the whole meeting. So I'm like, fuck. I remember playing with Kyle Turris and Brandon Pruss, my very first game. And we scored a goal in the first period, because it was at the far end. Same one I scored on Timmy Thomas, same net. Yeah. And he comes to the bench. He looks at me. He's like, fuck, I didn't know you could score goals. I'm like, if you put he's with a guy like Turris, I'll fucking score as many goals you want. So I just kind of had that, whatever confident kind of attitude at the time. And fuck, he played me like I was a fucking top player. I ended up playing with Matt Lombardi and Donor for most of the remainder, probably 20 games of the year. And we were we played unbelievable hockey. And that year I ended up going to play for Team Canada at the World Championships, which was a super
awesome.
highlight. And it was all because of just the confidence in Wayne and having again, it was a situation like in Philly when I got traded. The team was at the bottom of the league. The Coyotes were. That summer they got put into receivership, and the owners basically 30 NHL owners owned our team besides the Phoenix Coyotes. So it was a really fucked up situation. But Gretz is Gretz, the great one, and I see him every summer at Gaza Ranch. I teed it up with him and Janet this summer. I took a little money off Janet, so that was nice.
There you go.
That's awesome, man.
Well, you were talking about your couple productive years there. I think your most productive year point wise was maybe your second year in Florida. What changed there? 'Cause I know you kind of played different roles there, kind of with different teams and different seasons depending on how they were going. But I think you started. I think you had your best overall
to be
points.
honest, Miles, it was I was brought to Florida to be I was brought there as a kind of a go-to player, and I was hurt the whole first year, and I struggled with the relationship with my coach at the time, Kevin Deneen, and it was almost like I couldn't do anything right. A, trying to get healthy, and B, like whatever I did, on the ice was there something wrong with it. So we ended up having a good playoff series against New Jersey where we ended up losing in 7 games in double overtime. But I actually had a glimpse of like, okay, this kid he does actually play hard. He plays good. He can score. And the following year, we didn't get off to a great start, but we changed coaches and we brought in Peter Horchak from a coach I had in Milwaukee and in Nashville. Right. And it just kind of a new life for our whole team.
Yeah.
But we didn't make the playoffs that year. I was given a leadership. I was given a letter. I was given a lot of more, responsibility and I was accounted to help younger players and be a go-to guy, play a little bit of power play. And I think me and Brad Boyes tied, or maybe we're up top of our team lead in points. And it was it was a fun year, a good year. And
your hands like feet there, Uppy.
I'm handsy, boys. I don't have that. Keep knocking shit over.
I'll tell you what, Uppy, your spot in Fort Lauderdale downtown there, Los Olas, right around that area, man, that was sick. He had us over a couple times for dinner, and what a spot, man.
I bet.
Wow.
Yeah, National League spot. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
I remember one of the coaches you had in Florida. He was an assistant, and he was an assistant here. I remember him telling me the one day, like, "Yeah, we're down in Florida. I was going to eat lunch, and all of a sudden I see this guy on like a skateboard with a motor. I don't know if that's what it was or if it was a scooter you had. And he's no shirt on. It's Uppy." And I'm like, it's a game day or something too.
Yeah, right.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but
in the vitamin D.
Yeah. And he was like trying to, I'm like, so what?
Yeah.
Like, that's
awesome, man. Yeah, man? Exactly.
But it made me laugh because I'm like, that if I had to guess, I would guess it was Uppy, like cruising down. That's
it
awesome.
Was a skateboard it was back. Well, now everyone has them, but this was like one of the first original things that you could control with your little remote gun, and it was a fucking big fat skateboard with the big tires. You can drive.
That's right.
Yeah, I had one of those. Ripped down Los Olas.
Yeah.
Go to pregame meal, come back.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
That's beautiful.
So, any truth? I can't remember if you told me this or I heard it when you were in Phoenix. Did you grab a couple books at the ASU bookstore and just cruise around campus?
I mean, I did stop over there a few times. I mean,
you weren't studying.
I'm basically foreshadowing and doing some work for the Phoenix Coyotes to where they should build their next rink.
Yeah, that's
where it is in Glendale doesn't work. So I was always like, let's go check out some new land,
new business development.
Business development. Yeah. One of the best campuses ever, and now a great hockey program. So maybe I'll come out of retirement and go to college and play some hockey.
There you go.
ASU. Riles, you coming?
Yeah, you shoot me the invite and I'll be there. Yeah. Might be playing in a game this Sunday in the Federal League.
Nice. In the Fed
Our boy Dave our boy Dave McIsaac's the head coach of Danbury. What are they called? The hat tricks.
Hat tricks.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I got a text Saturday. You want to play? I was like,
I mean, buddy,
you guys looking for Tillies? Because I don't want to be fighting. And he's like, no, you be first line power play, dude. And I'm like, all right, sign me up.
Although, hey, I gotta say, our boy Princey with Missin Curfew, our social media guy, fuck, did he find that old footage of you dropping Darcy Tucker at Trinity?
Oh man, where did you find that? That is digging deep.
He's the man, and what better video than a young, handsome, short-haired Riley Cote?
Oh my god, that was embarrassing. Mock neck turtleneck.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was priceless.
So Uppy, we have to talk about what you have going on right now with your great show, Missin Curfew, man. It's awesome. We enjoy it.
Yeah, he has put out some good content.
Boys, it's like you said, and actually PK Subban on our show touched on it, but it's not easy doing this, right? It's like you leave in hockey, and Obi, I give credit all to Obes. He's been in the media since the day he retired, and wanted to do this show. He wanted to do it with me, and at the time we brought in Hazy, and it just worked last year in the playoffs. We weren't sure what it was, but we created the name together, and we found this beautiful studio that I'm talking to you guys in, and sure enough, people listen. People want to hear what guys like us, have to say about the game and about, our history together. And I couldn't be more happy with the progress and the growth of it. It's like our little baby, watching it grow and turn into something real. And, we got a great production team. As you guys know, it's easy to get on and talk, but you still got to sound good, and you still got to have, I keep dropping all this stuff here. It's because I'm in control of it. See, I think people, we got a great team behind us, and we're starting to do a lot of traveling on the road together. And I think that's a big thing for us, because we like the road. Fuck, we were road guys when we played.
Yeah.
And it's nice to get in front of people. It's nice to, have them feel road warriors. This was what my producer back there just said. And, so you guys, it's fun. And the more we do this, the more it grows, the more opportunity people get to listen and hear stories. Cause playing in the National League is a dream come true, and having, those opportunities to meet all the guys we have and to bring them on and have them share their stories and their battles and what they're doing now. And, it becomes real life for people to listen to. And that's kind of special. So congrats guys too. It's been great watching you guys. I'm glad I got to come on this show. We're going to film our episode for the week right now too, and touch on that. But, fuck boys, it's nothing like being in the same room. And I wish I could be in there, because the beer, we'll have a beer or pint or get in the flow state, Riles,
or a little herb or whatever comes across our table.
Whatever. It's all, it's all good. And it's all, it's all for good fun. And
absolutely.
That's to you guys. It's been great.
We really appreciate you coming on. I got one more thing. I know you got to go. I gotta thank you for introducing me to your boy LaBelle.
Oh yeah,
man.
Hello.
Ross was with me. We went to the show.
And a barbecue.
Man, dude, that guy's got
fucking skate
pipes, man.
Yeah, he can play.
He can sing. He can skate too. He looks like fucking Haglund out there. He's got the long,
with the
little lefty. He wears Pittsburgh gear.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is this Haglund flying around? And then all of a sudden he gets on the microphone, and you're like, nope, it's not.
No, that's not Aggie.
Mark LaBelle. But he he's been a good friend. He's played a couple July 4th parties for us down here at Lupul's place. I fucking slept in my bunk bedroom 2 different times. Young Izzy's listened to him sing. So he's awesome. A good man. I'm glad you guys met him. He's a big hockey guy, and we need more musicians to kind of come into the hockey world and show who they are. And
man, dude, their show, I love their set, man. Like I had been hearing them on the radio. They get, obviously they're getting airplay here, but then I realized you knew them, and I'm like, oh my God. And then Uppy, obviously you sent the text, and he was nice enough to come over and spend him.
Oh, he loved it. He loved it, boys. He loved it.
A few minutes with us. It was awesome, man. So thank you for that, bud.
Of course.
Sweet. I know you got a roll. Is Obi floating around to say a quick hello?
Oh, fellas back there. You want to come say hi? Can you hear him?
No,
it's all right.
It's all right. It's all right. I thought maybe you had a quick story to throw on there, but I know you guys get it rocking.
He was back. So we always do our team meeting before our show. We sit around and we shoot the shit. We catch up, and Princey sends us all this stuff. And so Obes is fucking fired up. We always get fired up before our show. We come in and fucking get jacked up.
That's awesome.
That's a good game plan.
Huh? Come here and pull the mic right over here.
It'll get off of you. It'll come off of yours. What?
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to tell the story quick about when we had the boys.
I'll tell the story.
Nasty.
Here, what's up, Obes?
Obes, what's up?
One shot here, right?
She's a one-shotter. So special guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us, big cat.
Boys, what do you keep knocking over here?
Just fumbleitis over there, Uppy.
I thought it was a cord cutter.
It looks like
the fucking
it looks like the spare room in Vancouver that night. It's a cage match. Fucking cage match.
Oh yeah. So look at this. A fucking 4 horsemen here.
Oh,
Nasty, what's up, buddy? Coach, good to talk to you again.
Good to see you, man.
I love the setup, boys. That looks like a place where you could microdose a little bit down there.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You can do it in here.
You can find flow in here for sure.
I'll tell one quick story, boys. First of all, I love what you guys are doing. It's awesome stuff. So
same to you, brother.
The Flyers come into Vancouver. We play that night at home. I think the Flyers had played Calgary or Edmonton. It doesn't matter. So we play at home, and I text Ups and Loops, and I said, fuck, boys, you landed? Like, yeah, we're here. I'm like, come to my place in Cole Harbor. So him, Uppy, Loops, and Richie come over. We have a couple pregame. I'm like, we'll go to the roller, boys. That's our best bet. We'll go to the roller. I'm like, how many guys on your squad are coming out? And remember, I'm playing in Vancouver, right? If I get like 3 guys out on the road, it was a fucking miracle. Updog goes, I think the whole squad's coming. I said, all right, fucking right. So we go to the roller, and sure enough, the whole Flyers team gets there. And I remember this one thing. I go up to this one broad, and I'm like trying to wheel her or whatever. And I'm like, she's like, you play for the Flyers, right? I'm like, no. I play here in Vancouver. She's like, I can't hook up with you. She's like, I came here to hook up with one of the Flyers. I have a boyfriend. I'm like, come on. I won't tell your boyfriend. I swear to God. And I'll pretend like I play for the Flyers. So the whole squad shows up, and they're like, the night's coming to an end, and Up in the Loops, like, what are we doing? I'm like, I'll tell you what we're fucking doing. We're going back to my house. Let's go. So the whole Flyers team comes, obviously. Some girls come with us or whatever, and we keep it rocking and rolling. And then, my spare room's obviously occupied, and I go to bed. And long story short, I wake up, and my spare room's the door's still locked. I'm like, all right, that boys are still in there. I come out, there's a couple boys on the couch with some girls. And then I look at my kitchen, and there's some of the fellas still rocking, drinking, listening to tunes, hanging out, dancing with the girls. I'm like, boys, I got to go to practice here. So if you could just lock up whenever you're done, just make sure you lock the door on the way out. So sure enough, I go to practice. The next day I come for morning skate, and Kessler's like, I heard you had the whole Flyers team over at your house. I'm like, yeah, I did. What's the problem? I'm like, I had the whole fucking team out. I had my guy, Kess. You better show up tonight. If you can't out skate Richard, when he's up till 4 a.m, there's something wrong with you. So
was that the night Cass took the stick from Jesse?
From Jesse Bowlers?
That was a year before I got
there.
there.
That was a year before.
Okay.
That was, boys, that was like game 1 or 2 after we went to Whistler for training camp.
Yeah, that's right.
Second game of the year, he gets the 10 gamer for cross-checking.
Yeah, whoops.
I remember
that was the last game you ever played in the show, I think.
Was it?
I think it was. You're right. Yeah.
Never played.
Needless to say, you guys had a close group of that team. I remember I was at the Roxy talking to Richie. I'm like, fuck, man, you got to get me out of here. I'm fitting Philly nice. Like,
you would have fit in Philly for sure.
You would have.
Yeah.
You would have. Did Riley clean your fridge out? I have a feeling he was one of the guys in the kitchen.
There was no beers left. I know that. The whiskey was gone. I'm like, fuck, boys did a good job. So it's nationally great. I just called my cleaning lady when I was going to practice. I'm like, hey, you're gonna have to come clean my house at some time today. I don't know what time those animals will be out of there, but when I woke up and no boys were still hanging out in the kitchen, though, I'm like, this is a fucking team that wins hockey games.
Hey, needless to say, no one was getting in Obi's lane when he was taking a slap shot that night. They were all just like,
No.
The best part of the story is you guys worked us 2 nights later too. I'm like the whole team was out and you still.
That's a sign of a good squad.
Yeah.
That's
right. Exactly. Right. That's the truth.
Oh, boys, thanks for having us on. You guys.
Thank you guys.
Keep it going.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. Talk to you soon.
See you, fellas.
See you, bud. All right. Big thank you to Scottie Upshall for joining us this week. And Obi coming in last second for a quick story. I think he let you off the hook there. I think you were eating all his food.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure I was.
You were trying to keep that face stick for the punches. And
I'm sure I was one of those last guys standing there.
I'm sure
I really
you
just
were.
don't remember.
I don't understand where I was. Because
Yeah,
I
I'm
definitely
surprised
wasn't
you
there
weren't
because
there.
I would remember. You know,
Of
I
course
remember
you were,
stupid shit like that.
Incredible memory.
Oh, man. But it sounds like a good night. I'm pretty sure I was at the Roxy, though. I know I would
definitely was at the Roxy. Yeah, I was definitely at the Roxy. I know that. I know you were there as well.
But yeah, special thanks to them for jumping on with us, man. They're doing a great job with their pod, Missin Curfew, and it's getting better every week.
Yeah, absolutely. And also want to say a big thanks to Fans of Philly.
Yes, our buddies.
The #1 Philly fan experience in town for all Philly sports, but we're talking Flyers hockey, so
yes.
Be rocking a couple trips this year, including Arizona.
Coming up soon.
In the next, what is that, 2 weeks? 2.5 weeks away, man.
The suntan lotion.
Oh, man.
I know you'll be baking out there, get a little vitamin D.
Oh, of course. You know it.
I think I will be too.
Yeah. Looking forward to hanging out with some fans. I'm sure we know some of them.
Yep.
Get a chance to meet some new Philly fans and have a great time.
I can't wait. Like I told you before, Riggs, I've seen them in the last few years, and I wanted to join them.
Yeah,
I was on the bench, and I'm like, we were losing a couple of times. I'm like, I wish I was up there with these guys. They're animals, and I can't wait. And you know who's going to be there? Howie's got the steal.
Oh, Howie.
He's on that trip.
Look out.
So he's going to be looking to hang out. Can't wait. I don't know if we can keep up with Howie, but we'll try.
I know.
We'll try.
Yeah, right. But be a great time.
Yes, can't wait.
Check them out at fansofphilly.com for all other dates and events, experiences that they put on and do a hell of a job. So looking forward to being a part of that.
Yes, cannot wait.
And you know what, Nast? That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Episode 50.
50. We got to have a party.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Until next week, knuckleheads, stay safe.
See you, knuckleheads.
Have some fun.
That's right.